We all want to fall in love. It feels good. It makes us feel alive. But believe it or not, falling in love is easy. It's the easiest part out of this whole thing. Now, staying in love, that's a completely different story because it's a lot of work. It doesn't matter how in love you are in the beginning. If you don't fuel that spark and maintain that love, it can wither away and disappear from neglect and abandonment. If one or both parties start taking the love for granted and failing to nurture it, it can die slowly. The thing is, love takes a lot of work, so much work. I think it was Mother Teresa who said, in order to keep a lamp burning, you have to keep putting oil in it. So you constantly have to be putting effort in your love. And for those of you who have been in a relationship for a while, you know that it's much more than just pleasing and satisfying the physical senses. It's more than sex and companionship and friendship, because the emotional and spiritual aspects of the person also needs to be paid attention to and stimulated. And I think as soon as you can wrap your head to the fact that you have to take care of that person in all aspects, not just the physical, can your love really truly survive? And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of compromise. It's a lot of perseverance. But it's very rewarding at the same time. I think for the man, I'd like to challenge you to love up on your woman. I think women face so many issues today that a lot of women in previous generations have not. Not only do we nurture, we need to take care of our children, and we need to take care of our aging parents and making our bosses shine, and take care of our girlfriends, and then come home to you and make you feel awesome. But we also trying to claim our place in the workforce to pave the way for other women who would like to up their game with their contribution to society. And that's a lot of hats to wear. And then we need to come home and we need to look hot and sexy for you. So be patient with us. I think we need to be validated. We need to be supported. And we need to feel like we're the most beautiful thing in the world, that we're the hottest things on two legs. Even though in your eyes, we've aged over time and we've gained weight and everything else that comes with aging. But we just need to be felt special and to be validated. And for the women, same thing. Love up on your man. I think society places so much expectations on men. They need to be strong and on top of their game all the time, and lead their team in the workforce, and then lead the family and lead a relationship. And they need to really follow the rules. And so they need to be able to come home and have that soft pillow to fall back on, because the world can be harsh and they can get hardened and embittered by it. I think as women, we get a lot of our softness and our emotional vulnerability and emotional support from a lot of people, from our kids, our parents, our girlfriends. But men don't get a lot of that, because I think really the most acceptable emotion from men, from society, is just anger. But men need that softness and vulnerability, and I think that's one of our roles, is that they need to be made like they have a biggest fan when they come home, because there's a lot of pressure. And yes, it does take a lot of work, a lot of give and take, a lot of trial and error, but relationships are very rewarding. I'm really for marriage, for relationships. I think two is better than one. And so just keep working hard at it continually. At the same token, from everything that I just said, there's a flip side to that. A man recently asked me, and he said, "Kim, are you woman enough to make me happy all the time?" And in my head, I'm thinking, no, What a ridiculous question. Because I'm not that powerful. As a matter of fact, there's not one woman on this earth, no matter how beautiful and amazing she is, to make a man happy every single second. Because nobody has superpowers, and it's the same thing, vice versa. I think as humans, we need to stop relying on outside sources to make us truly happy. There's not one person or one thing or one activity that can give us true joy, because all that really comes from within. It comes from really looking at yourself and knowing yourself and being content with who you are and all your imperfections. Only you can do that, you and your higher power. And I don't think it's fair to put that responsibility of all your happiness to someone that you love, because they themselves have issues on their own. And I see a lot of people go from relationship to relationship to relationship all their lives because they're looking for that one person who can complete them, who can make them completely happy. Well, that's not going to happen, because we're always going to have that constant longing in our hearts. And you know what I mean? We're always longing for something. That's how we're wired. And that's a spiritual aspect, an emotional aspect. And there's not one person who can fulfill that. Only you and your higher power or your God can do that. I try the best that I can to love unconditionally and not to judge. At the same time, I also know that I cannot be responsible for anybody else's true happiness on this earth. I'm just not that powerful. So like I said, love is learned. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of continual effort, but it's very, very rewarding. And I also believe that true joy and happiness can only come from within you.